What's up, everybody? Welcome back to D-Train Games and Deer Hunting Camp. Today, the 200 quest is going to continue. Hopefully, we'll get one off of PSR Mountains. We're doing 2 bow hunts, and then we're going to do 4 muzzleloader hunts for the rut. We're really trying to get a 200 off of PSR Mountains and then another 200 off PSR Ponds. So that way, we can say that we've got one off every single one of the maps from the base game. This does not include the maps from the recent updates, and I am going to be skipping PSR Woods just simply because I'm not too big on that map anymore. So we're only going to focus on these last 2 maps, and then we'll move on to something different for this game. Let's get out there and see what we can do today. And if you guys do enjoy today's stream, please make sure that you hit the like button and subscribe if you want to see more of these streams and content. We are starting from scratch today, so I will have to plant the food plot, put out my trail cams and everything before we actually get started on the hunt. So I'll move right along as quickly as I can so we can get to the good part of the game, which is the hunting, obviously. I have not touched this game in quite a while, actually. I think it's been about a week. About a week or two since I've touched this. Actually, about 2 weeks now, to think about it. It's been about 2 weeks since I've played this game last. Just been very, very excited for the new update for Call of the Wild. Been playing some Resident Evil. As you guys know, that is going to be the year's final playthrough until February. What's up, Raven? Welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Just trying to get everything planned up so that way we can move on to the rut. We're going to spend a lot of time in the rut today during today's stream, man. We're going to be hunting 4 different times in the rut, twice during the early season. I'm not very big on the rifle season in this game, so I pretty much don't even hunt that season anymore. I believe we've planted this entire field. I don't think there's anything else we can really do now. It's a very teeny tiny plot. Alright. I think that should be good enough. Let's move on to scouting. You love this game, Raven? Yeah, I know, man. Honestly, I mean, I love it too, buddy. Right now, it is probably, as far as a simulator, it is my, like close to real life, it is probably my favorite of all time so far. And then, obviously, the Hunter Call of the Wild is my favorite hunting game of all time. But I will say that this one is a lot of fun if you're just wanting to be chill. If there's a day where you don't really feel like just shooting up a gallery of animals, you just kind of want to take your time and just hunt realistically, this is the way to go, man. It is so good. And I know it's a whitetail hunting game, but I'm really hoping that at some point they actually add other species, because it'd be so cool to have bigger maps that involve multiple animals, or maybe just maps that are dedicated to other animals. Like these maps would be dedicated to the whitetail, obviously, where there'll be some maps that'd be dedicated to like mule deer or elk or something like that. I think that'd be really cool. Let's go ahead and get this tree stand in the only tree that you need to worry about on this map. I don't use any other tree. This is the only tree that I think is even worth it. You just park right here. This is the second tree. Just want to walk out in front of it and kind of go diagonal with it. Let's see here. And then you want to get up in it and see if you can see all the way around. Which I can, so that means that we've got it in the right place. Alright, that'll do. Let's check out our map, see what we got to work with this time around. Very strange. I actually don't see too many trails. I hope that isn't meaning anything. But actually this map's kind of empty this time around. I guess we'll drive around and see if we can find some trails on the road, going through the road. Is this a trail right here? No, that's not a trail. Okay. Thought it was there for a minute. Yeah, there ain't that many trails this time around. Usually this map gets littered with them, but I'm actually not seeing very many at all this time. I'm hoping that is not going to be a problem. Again, I don't want the stream to be terrible, so if we hunt a couple of days and we're just not seeing anything, I may have to delete this campaign and do it again. And there's a little forky, so at least we got some deer. Yeah, I'm not even seeing any trails, man. That is very strange for this map. Nope, that's a shadow. Dude, I think this is the least amount of trails I've ever seen on this map. This is weird. Usually this map is littered with them. This time around, though, it doesn't look like it's so. I mean, there was a trail back here, it looked like. Right here. This is like the only trail on the map right now. That is so strange. Okay. And it doesn't even go all the way through. Hmm. I'm honestly not sure. I guess I'll just plant cameras in random places. Because we don't have trails this time around, so I don't know what's going on. Hopefully it doesn't mean anything. I think I might just put 3 out. Have that one facing out towards the out towards that direction. Very strange, very, very strange. I guess I'll put this trail camera right here, just kind of keep an eye on this trail. I think the only other thing I can really do at this point, where I don't have trails, I think the only thing I can really do is just place another camera down in that bottom. And then just kind of go with it. Because we only got 1 trail, which is very strange. I know I've said that a lot, but it is strange for this map. Watch out, honey. I'm gonna get run over. I mean, we're seeing deer, so I mean, I'm not gonna let it justify our hunt. Put that one there. And I guess I'll just put one more on this other side, and that's about the only thing I can really think to do at the moment. Put that one there, I guess. Alright, I guess that'll have to do us. We don't have any other trails, so let's go ahead and advance to hunting. And again, if we try to hunt and there's just nothing showing up, then I will delete this campaign and try again. But let's get out there in the field and see if we can't kill anything nice. Looks like we made it into our tree stand. Now all we gotta do is sit here and wait it out. Wait for daylight to come on. I am really not sure how this season's going to play out. I'm not very fond of the seasons when you only get about 1 trail, but I have killed monsters like that before. There has been a couple of seasons where I only had like 1 or 2 trails, and I still came out with some pretty big bucks. So hopefully it will not affect us in any way. Is there a deer out there? No. Just some grass moving around. The one thing that I'm wondering about is the fact that I actually missed a little bitty strip. It's hard to see, but I did miss a little bitty strip in the food plot right up the middle of it. But I really don't think that should affect anything. And you can actually see it right through there. You can actually see the place where I missed. But it's such a tiny plot and it's so thick of grass, it's hard to tell if you're hitting everything in some cases. There's a little buck. A little forky to start things off. Nothing I'm interested in shooting, but it's nice to see that we got some deer wandering around. Doesn't look like anything's on the trail cameras right now. Now, like I said, I did just randomly put trail cameras out. We don't have any trails per se this time around. We only got one legitimate trail, and it doesn't even go all the way across the map, so all we can do is just sit here, and if we notice that we're barely seeing anything or nothing's really happening, then all we can do is just delete the season and try again. Because I do think that every so often the game actually gets a little bit bugged, and it doesn't give you all the trails that you're supposed to have in some cases. Or, I mean, like I said, it's just a randomizer. There's a buck. Or no, is that a buck? Yeah, it's a nice little 8. He's a good one to take later in the day. He's not necessarily one that I'll take right off the bat, but that is a shooter in my opinion for a early buck. Again, I would like for it to get at least halfway through the day before I let an arrow fly at that one. And if you guys did not know this, if you play on console, the next update is supposed to bring a piebald to the game. If you haven't seen if you haven't seen Flinter's channel, Flinter just put out a video the other day that was really cool, and it showed a piebald that's coming to this game, and he comes with different sized antlers. So I'm really, really excited for the next update on Deer Hunting Camp for PS5, and hopefully it won't be like 3 months again, like the last one was. Although the wait was worth it for the trophy lodge and everything. Yeah, it's gonna be cool whenever this game has piebalds, melanistics, and albinos and all kinds of cool stuff. That'd be really cool. Check the cameras out, see if there's anything on them. Little forky on that camera. I wonder why the camera isn't flashing red then, because I clearly have a deer on this camera. Another little forky on that camera. Still no big boys just yet. After seeing all them forkies and then that one little 8-pointer, it really does make me want to shoot the 8-point. But I have had hunts before where I will shoot the little 8-pointer after seeing 3 or 4 little forkies, and turns out there was a monster on my map. I mean, like I said, the game does randomly spawn in bucks throughout your day, so sometimes you won't see them, but your map does get new deer throughout the day. And I think like at the halfway point is usually whenever the game starts putting in more animals, from what I've seen. Some of the animals will jump the fence over the day and will not come back to your property, and then they'll get replaced by other bucks or does. Buddy, you are so tempting right now, though. Calling the two directions that a lot of the bucks come from. I will not touch another collar for a while, though. I usually grunt a couple of times and see if a big one shows up or not. Goes Mr. 8 Point. Yeah, I'll probably give it to about the halfway point. When it gets to about the O or the N. And then when the timer gets to about that point, is whenever I'll shoot something. I like to give it at least a majority of the morning before I'll shoot just a random buck. Although I am very excited to hunt the rut, though. We're doing 4 different rut hunts. So if we're going to get a monster, it's going to be in that time frame. The good news is at least we're seeing deer. So even though we only got one trail, we are having deer that are coming to the food plot. So that's really good. Yeah, there's a new buck. We haven't seen him yet. It's that smaller 8 point rack. As it is in real life, patience is just the key. Patience and spinning around like a corkscrew. Dude, I tell you what, if you were to like watch anybody play this game and then put it on like ×2 speed, I bet it'd be hilarious. It'd look like they're just literally just standing in one spot, just spinning over and over again for no reason. Yeah, it's at smaller 8. Little forky there. Nothing in the bottom field. Nothing up at the tree fall, as I call it. Nothing on our only trail. Here's something on this camera. I need to check our field real quick, though. Make sure there's nothing coming out in front of us that needs our attention. I'm not seeing anything. Let's go back to that camera. I wish you could rotate the cameras in this game to look different directions. That'd be cool. Okay, so it's walking away from the camera. So we'll go ahead and exit. A smaller 8 point just making his way around the tree. I about said campsite for whatever reason. Man, I cannot think today, guys. My focus levels are just not where I want them to be. I don't know what's going on with me today. I'm just not focused. Thanks a lot, ADHD. The one thing I do wish they change about the game, which is just a minor nitpick, is the grunt collar. To me, whenever you pull that thing up to grunt with it, it looks like you're about to call in an elk. To me, that collar looks more like an elk collar than anything. I mean, look at it. It's big and elongated. It looks like you're just getting ready to make a big elk bugle with it. They need to make it look more like a grunt collar. Not that I'm complaining too much about it. Just saying. What's up, man? How you doing, Larry? I'm sorry, YouTube is still showing your YouTube name, so I'm not entirely sure what your what your mod name is. So you'll have to remind me of what your name is again. I'm sorry. I know it says Larry on there, but I can't remember what your real name is, man. So forgive me for that. I really hope YouTube fixes that soon, where it shows your handle rather than your other name. All right, Wolf, sounds good, man. We're just after a 200 to 200 today, as usual. And then we'll spend our last 2 days this week on the whitetail grind. I would really like to get the Great One whitetail before our trophy lodge tours, if possible. But I figured we'd do some deer hunting camp today. We only got a couple of hours. You know what? I'm gonna take that sucker. Where's it going? He just fell. Alright, that's a good one. That's a good one to start off with. I'll take a generic 8 point for the first day. Like I said, I want to move on to the rut. We've got 2 days of bow season, so I want to go ahead and get the bow season over with, so that way we can move on to the rut. I think that's where we'll stand the biggest chance at getting a 200. Where did this guy even fall down at? I heard him die. There he is. So he's right here. Okay, so I just need to remember he's just right below the camera. We're not going to drag him. I'm just going to go get the car and pick him up. The only time I really drag any animals is if they're in a really terrible place to pick them up, or if it's a monster. If it's the big bucks, I like dragging them out for the feeling of it. We need to sprint in this game too. We need to be able to actually sprint. So this buck should just be right down here. Load buck. There we go. I don't know where he was, but it gave me the option to load him. There we go. You talking about a great one, Wolf boss? If you're talking about a great one, Wolf, congratulations, man. I didn't even know you had gotten 2. I thought you just got 1 so far. But you're sure living up to your name, my friend. I just haven't really been into the wolves, man. Like I said, I started the wolf grind, and I enjoyed it for about the first few times I did it. And sadly, I just haven't really been interested in them that much. I mean, I want to get back into them, but I'm kind of wanting my whitetail before I do that. Nice little 116. Let's go, Wolf. Living up to your name, my friend. My flashlight. I can't see nothing. There we go. Alright, all we gotta do is wait for the sunrise and see what day number 2 is gonna bring us. It's finally not a razor wind. Let's go, man. What was it? So I'm assuming you got 2 razor winds and now you got something different. What's your new color? I'm really hoping for the Twin Souls. My wife and I really love the Twin Souls, but she's kind of been out of the mood for Call of the Wild. She was in it for a few days, but she's been more into Marvel Rivals than anything lately, which I can't blame her. Already a little Forky in the field. Something else back there, but I can't tell what it is. It's just a little bit too dark. A Scarborn? Oh, dude, all the wolves are cool, but that one's really cool too. Is that the I mean, just let me know if I'm wrong, but is that the red one that has like the scar across its face? Am I thinking of the right thing? That is awesome, man. Let's go, man. That's a great wolf. I mean, they really knocked the Great One wolf out of the ballpark, though, man. I mean, all the great ones for that species is amazing. At this point, I really could care less what my Great One Whitetail is. I just wanted to show up on my map. And honestly, a lot of me has been thinking about just biting the bullet and going through my entire map again, because a lot of my animals are getting screwed up for whatever reason. They just weren't staying in their zones, and they were bouncing all over the place last time we were streaming them. And it's really making me think that I do have a Great One on my map, or it's trying to spawn in and just can't. Because my usually your zones get whacked out after your Great One spawns, and I'm really wondering if there is a Great One on my map, and I just didn't find them the first time I went through everything. It's just that it took me several hours just to scour that entire map from where there's so many drink zones on that map. So that's the discouragement I have as far as like searching my map for a Great One. You're working on Whitetail? What map are you working on them on? I think you said, is it Revel Tilly? I'm sorry, there's several people in my chat that are doing grinds. I'm trying to remember who's doing what where. Come on, big 200. My record right now is 209, but sadly it can't. I got all of my 200s prior to the trophy lodge, and I have not killed a 200 ever since then. So I'm really hoping to break my record and be able to add that 209 or maybe even a 210 to the lodge. I'm wanting to have one of every antler type in the game and just constantly re-update them as I get bigger ones. Is what my plan is with my trophy lodge. Of course, I'm not involving the basket racks and stuff, obviously. I'm just talking big bucks. You're on Rev? Okay, I was right then. Yeah, I remembered that. That's why I was taking a guess with a minute ago. I was pretty sure that you said you was doing it on Revel Tilly. How many kills in are you on that one, or are you mainly working on wolves? $1,366 in. You'll get there, man. Like I said, I've only gotten one great one off Revel Tilly, and it was a lucky one. I got it in 130 kills, I believe. Like I hadn't even started my grind yet. I just got everything set up, and I had just got the HM where it was at least half of the map was HM'd, sort of like what I did with New England. And I just started grinding, and 130 kills in, I got it. A little forky up there on the hill. So far, still no big buck. We've been seeing a lot of forkies and basket racks, so I'm hoping that the rut is going to bring some monsters. I think that's what this map is doing. From my experience, I could be wrong, but from my experience, usually if your first couple of days go really, really badly, like as far as seeing big deer, the rest of your days usually you'll see big deer. Like I've noticed that. So I'm hoping that the game is just getting everything set up for the rut. Because I am hunting 4 days of rut during this season. And we've only got one deer trail, though, which is what's concerning me. For whatever reason, the game only decided to give me one deer trail this season. So I am hoping it's not going to be a season of just basket racks, because if it is, it's going to be very boring, and for two, it's going to feel like a waste of a stream. I'm sure there'll be a big buck show up, though. I just don't see us going an entire season without seeing something big. A nice couple little does in the field. Your shortest grind is 3 kills for whitetail? How'd that happen, man? My shortest grind was on Mississippi, and as you guys know, it was 5 kills for me. I'd not discovered Mississippi, and I was just shooting bucks along the way, and the 5th buck I shot came back as a great one. Didn't even get to grind or nothing, which I was happy with, because at least I can say I got one from that map. Guys, if you are enjoying the stream, make sure that you guys hit the like button for me so more people can find us today. And also subscribe if you guys want to see more of these streams and other related hunting content. And just to let you guys know, I am nearly ready to, I'm going to start recording Resident Evil 4. It is a lot cleaner compared to Resident Evil 2 or 3 as far as language is concerned. I'm very happy about that. The game does still have some language in it, but it's very sparse compared to the other two games, so it's a lot cleaner. It still has gore and violence, obviously, but and a very good story, but luckily that it doesn't curse as much as the last couple of games that I did on the channel. So, I'm very, very excited to do that playthrough, and it's going to be our final horror playthrough of the year. We'll take January as just a hunting month, and then February Resident Evil 9 drops, and as long as that game doesn't feature any like nudity or anything in it, I'll be playing that one here on the channel as well. So I'm very excited for the future. Hello? Oh. Hi, honey. How you doing? Is that some good grass? Nom 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 nom. Let's see. I wish a big buck would just show up already. All I'm seeing is forkies. We got a little 8-pointer on day 1. Not seeing anything impressive these days. You got a short rack, then next run it was the next zone, and it was a short rack too. Oh, dude, that's awesome, man. So let me get this straight. So you got a great one, like a normal grind great one, and then whenever you started grinding again, the third buck you shot after claiming your great one turned out to be one. Am I understanding that story correctly? The way you're wording it, it sounds like you got a great one and then shot 3 more bucks and got another great one. Is that the way it went? Honestly, I'm not too impressed with this season. I'm gonna tell you guys something right now. If we hunt the very first day of the rut and I don't have any sign of any mature deer after the first quarter of the day, I'm probably just gonna delete this season and try to do a different season because this is kind of ridiculous. I do have another season ready, so I did have a backup one on PSR Pines. Unfortunately, that one is a 2-2-2 season, so it's 2 days of bow, 2 days of muzzleloader, and 2 days of rifle. But that one is ready to go in case this season was a flop. So that's what we'll do if it turns out that that the game's gonna flop this season. So we'll hunt 1 day of the rut, and if there's still no sign of any mature deer, then we'll just call this season a bust, and we'll just delete it and move to PSR Pines for the remainder of the stream. Oh, that's awesome, Wolf Boss. Honestly, even though it's just a 4-pointer, I'm actually tempted to shoot that 4-pointer just to get the season over, get the bow season over with. Because this is just seeming like it's just gonna be a bust. Buck I've seen all morning, and this is one of those seasons where you just don't feel it, man. It's empty. There's not any big ones. You only have 1 deer trail. What's up, Reed? Welcome to the stream. Long time no see. I've been doing good, man. You're doing really good. Sitting here hoping for a big buck to show up, but this season sometimes you get what's called poor seasons, as I call them on this game, where you'll set everything up and then you only get like 1 or 2 trails and you just won't see hardly any deer throughout the season. And unfortunately, it looks like that PSR Mountains is doing that to us. So I'm probably just going to shoot the very first buck. This is day 2. The first day we got a little 8-point. I don't want to make a bad decision here and shoot a deer too early, but I'm kind of wanting to get onto the rut. We have 4 days of the rut to hunt. There's a deer somewhere around this camera, but we haven't seen a single big deer the entire time, and it's making me wonder if I need to move on to the rut or not. Unfortunately, Reed, no. Unfortunately, Deer Hunting Camp is only available to PlayStation 5 and PC. Where PC is actually getting the updates first, and then PS5 is getting the updates at a later date for whatever reason. But proven for Xbox though, like they are working on it. It's just they can't get it to be approved for whatever reason. The people at Microsoft will not advertise their product for them for whatever reason. But they have been trying to negotiate a deal with them, and they're just denying it. Let me see if I can't get that little Forky over here. Okay, apparently he did not like my grunt. That's either the smartest four-pointer on Earth, or he just did not like the call. I don't know. Maybe he just knew that was a fake call. I really don't want to shoot a doe. I'd really like to get at least a buck every day. It is a lot of fun, Reed. It's a very realistic hunting simulator. So you're pretty much just sitting in your stand. You get to make your own, but you can create your own maps, which is really cool. You get to make your own food plots, put out trail cameras, set up stands, and then hunt. And it's very realistic. You just sit in your stand all day and just see what comes into your fields. So it's a lot of fun. As far as streaming on the weekends, though, the only time I'll ever do that is if my wife is gone doing something, and I have her permission to do so, because the weekends are usually what we spend together. Um, those are the days that she gets off, obviously, so I like to spend the weekend with my wife. But like I said, if there's ever a day where she's gone or something and I have some free time and I feel like streaming, I will. I have streamed on Saturdays before, but again, it has to be along those lines. But I am trying to stream 3 days a week again. So for all of you that are here watching, we are attempting to stream 3 days a week once more. However, it'll be revolving around my wife's schedule. So if she only has 2 days where she's getting off at 5 or 6 p.m., then I'll only be able to stream on those 2 days. So if there's a third day throughout the week where my wife is getting off at 5, I'm going to attempt to stream on that day from now on. So we're going to go back to our 3 days a week. But on my third day, so like the first stream of the week, I will only be streaming for those couple of hours, and then on the last 2 days, I'll be streaming for an extra hour. So today I'm only streaming until 5 p.m. Eastern time, and then Thursday and Friday I'll be streaming until 6, which is why I'm doing the Call of the Wild streams those days, because I really want to do my 3 hours of grinding if I can. I would like to try to get the whitetail off New England before the new update if I can. This is just making me feel like this is going to be a bust season. I mean, I hate saying that, but the game does do that to you from time to time. Sometimes you'll get several seasons in a row of plenty of trails and plenty of deer, and then you'll get that 1 or 2 seasons where it's like you just don't see hardly anything. And I'm assuming it's the game trying to be realistic, where some seasons are better than others. But I'm really just wanting to see what the rut's going to be like. I'm tempted to shoot a doe, but like I said, I'd like to get a buck every day if I can. Most of the time I come out with a buck out of all 6 days of the season, but... Okay, back there's a buck. I really don't care how little he is. I'm kind of just wanting to move on to the rut now. If I can just get this little guy to come in, I would be very happy with him. But apparently he does not like my grunt call. That's okay. I'll leave him be. Maybe a little basket rack 8-pointer will come through or something. Well, how much time is left? Yeah, it's already halfway through the day, too, and we haven't saw hardly anything. Tough, man, tough. I tell you what, I don't want to shoot a doe, but the very next deer that comes into bow range, whether it's a doe or a buck, I'm going to pop it. Because I want to go ahead and move on to the rut and see if the game gives us our monsters during the rut. But I'm only going to give it 1 day, though. If the very first day of the rut goes as a bust where we're not seeing any bucks chasing does or hearing any matures, then I'm just going to go ahead and let you guys know that I will be deleting this season and moving on to PSR Ponds for the remainder of the stream. And trying to see if that map treats us better. Because it looks like this might be a bust season. There's a doe. But all it takes is that one big buck, though, to change everything. And there's that little Forky again. I think that Forky's the only buck I've seen today. Honey, you better be careful. You walk within bow range, you're going to get shot. At this point, I'm just ready to move on to the rut. Alrighty. Looks like we're going home with the doe today, boys. Putting meat in the freezer. A little bit low, but I think that's going to hit her in the lung at least. She shouldn't go too far. There she goes. That was a crazy fall. Oh, man. Yeah, we'll take a doe. Why not? Just to get the season moving on. This day's going to be a bust. I can just tell. There's only one buck running around, and he's not even worth it. So let's see what the first day of the rut brings us. Nice little nanny. At least we'll have some back straps for dinner. Let's go ahead and take this doe back, and then we'll get started on the rut. Like I said, I did schedule 4 days, but I didn't expect for us to only have to have a season with just one deer trail. So the first 2 days are a bust. We'll see how the third day goes. If there's mature bucks running around, then I'll stay for the entire season. I kind of wish that the guy would add an extra option there, where instead of having to come back to the main menu and do all this, I kind of wish that you had the option to go ahead and just advance to your next hunting day, so that way you wouldn't have to come back to the main menu and go through everything again. All right, first day of the rut. Hopefully this is where we'll get our monsters. Now where it is the rut, I'm not going to drive as far forward. I'm just going to walk and hope that I start hearing grunting. Silent morning so far. I'm going to try my best not to let it worry me. Usually if it's going to be a really good rut, I'll already hear grunting by now, but can't tell at the moment. We'll just have to wait and see. Thank you, Wolf Boss. Appreciate you, man. Yeah, guys, make sure you guys hit the like button so that way more people can find the channel, and make sure you guys subscribe if you want to see more of these hunting streams. If you're watching and having a good time here today. And also, guys, don't forget to go and watch the most recent video if you haven't already. The 2025 Trophy Lodge tours will begin next week. About to next year. Yeah, they begin after the holidays. No, they're going to begin next week, a couple of days after the update. So that way you guys will have time to, if you guys are going to buy the new pack for your trophy lodges, you'll have time to change up all your plaques and everything. You guys will be competing for my favorite trophy lodge as well as my favorite trophy. Unfortunately, I can't give you guys any kind of like real prizes at the moment. The channel's too small to do that. But hopefully you guys will be fine with bragging rights and just being crowned champion. And I'm already brainstorming another idea too, but I don't know if it really feel like a reward or not. So we might check on that one. Dude, it's just little bucks, man. We've already got 3 bucks here, and they're all little ones. I'm just really not feeling good about this season. It's going to be one of those seasons where you're going to get 1 or 2 monsters, and the rest of your bucks are going to be small, probably. What's up, Brendan? What's going on, man? What's up? We're trying to get a monster buck during a season that is not being profitable. Okay, there goes the rut and doe. But yeah, this season has been nothing but smaller deer, and we haven't even seen a single one in 3 days. That is a big one. And we're starting the rut now, and I have not heard a single grunt. So, and we've also only got 1 deer trail. So I'm thinking that this is a dud season. Every so often while playing deer hunting camp, you'll end up with what's called a dud season, where you'll pretty much just see smaller bucks and maybe 1 or 2 monsters, and that's 1 or 2 bigger deer, and that's about it. So I'm debating. I'm thinking I'm gonna have to delete this season and us move to PSR Pines for the remainder of the stream because it just doesn't seem like Mountains is wanting to be good to us today. I mean, like, bugs like this is all we've been seeing, is like little forkies and little basket racks. And I don't want to bore you guys with little deer today. I'd like to be able to have a chance at some big ones. Alright, guys, I'm going to go ahead and call this season a bust. There's no grunting bucks, so I'm pretty sure these are all going to be little ones again. And I just don't feel like hunting little deer. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to delete this season, and we're going to move to PSR Pines for the remainder of the stream. Hopefully that one will be a little bit nicer to us. Like I said, I've already got my stuff planted on this one, so all we got to do is just roam the map a little bit, put out our trail cameras if I haven't already done that. No, we haven't done that yet. Alright. Sorry about that season, guys. It was just a dud. Just no big deer whatsoever, so I decided to move on to something else. That's kind of the way I hunt, though. Oh, that's a big buck. Oh, that's a big buck. That's a 200. That's 200. Guys, we got a 200 on the map. Let's go. We spooked him, but there's a 200 on the map. That's a 200 rack. Now all we got to do is make it count. All right. That's what I'm talking about, brother. Let's see. I don't think I have a trail coming to my tree stand, though, this season, unfortunately. My favorite tree to hunt in is right here. And it doesn't look like we have a trail that's coming under it. But we do have some trails around it, so I think that we'll still be okay. Yeah, it'll be a little bit behind us, but I think we'll be fine here. Alright. Let's go ahead and put this up. Tree stand? Oh, I left my car too far back. My bad. Well, guys, that's a really, really good way to start, but before we even hunt, is to see a 200 rack. I don't know if he's going to make 200 score, but like I said, for the challenge purposes, we only need the rack, so that buck will work. If he decides to come back in during the season. This right here should be fine. Okay. Now we need to put out 1 more tree stand. I think. Let me see. Yeah. We're going to put out 1 more tree stand. I don't normally do this, but this is for the rut. So that tree stand there is our main stand. It's the one we're going to try to hunt all days in. But I like to put up 1 more that's down here in this crossing for the rut, because I kind of park the car a little bit further back during the rut, and if we hear anything grunting, I like to have a tree stand to get into if we need to get into it. There's 2 antlers right side by side there. So let's go get this other tree stand real quick. Yeah, I know, Wolf Boss. Yeah, I'm excited, man. We have a 200 score on the map. We have a 200 rack on the map. I don't know if we spooked them off for the entire season. I don't think it works that way. But we'll have to see. Let's see, is this the stand? Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, this is my backup stand, guys. This one is only for the rut, so that way if we hear any bucks grunting when we get out of the car, we'll be able to just jump in this stand and stay here and wait for daylight before we try to move on to the other stand. Plus, you can see this way and that way, so it's a nice place to have a backup. All right, let's find these trails. So it looks like we got one right here. This one right here should be fine. I think I am going to put it looking this way, though. Well, I'll tell you what. Let's take him back up a little bit. And let's just face it straight down this direction. There we go. That way we should be able to see that way. Alright, do we have a trail down here? We do. It's a little bit further down, though, so let's get the car and drive down that way. We actually got two trails here. Okay. I think we'll put this one facing that way. That should work. What's that, fish catcher? Just hunting some, trying to get a 200, man. We got a 200 already on the map. We haven't even started hunting yet, but we jumped a big 200 rack a few minutes ago, so we know that the challenge is in front of us. We just got to make it count now. Hopefully he shows up during the season. That's a big rack. Excuse me, ma'am. Okay, so here's this deer trail. This one I should be able to see actually from the stand, so I don't think that I'm going to worry about putting a camera on that one. But there's usually another one that's out here. It does not look like it's the case this time, though. So let's go ahead and try to find this trail. There's a trail that's right in here somewhere. There it is. Let's go ahead and put a camera on this one. Man, there's a lot of big antlers on this one, guys. We may have made the right move to switch maps. We're picking up a lot of big sheds. This season might just be a trophy season, guys, where we get a lot of big bucks. I hope that's the case. How many cameras do we have out? We have out 3. I tell you what, that's probably enough, actually, because that's pretty much all the trails. Alright, let's go ahead and get hunting. Well, maybe not. Let's see. Let me see if I can find one more antler. How to play this because you stink at the game. Honestly, man, it's just all about planning a food plot. Putting tree stands in their correct places. Again, I do have a guide on my channel to show you where the best places to put your tree stands are. And then you just want to try to sneak it to the tree stand. Also, remember that there is not a crouch feature, like a sneaking feature on the game. So the way that you sneak is you want to just barely push up on the left stick on PS5. If you guys can hear that, if you hear the noise like this, that means you're sneaking, and it's the same principle. So this right here is how you keep from spooking deer if you're having to approach them. If you're doing this, this is the sprint. So you'll spook a lot of stuff if you're doing this. I mean, like I said though, I do have a tree stand placement guide on the channel if you want to go and look and see where to put your stands. And then you also got to remember that the bullet drop in this game is insane. So you have to go to the target range and practice shooting your guns so you know where to hold them. Because this game doesn't have the best ballistics. It's an extremely fun game. Why is it letting me use the... Oh, I've already hunted 2 days on this season. How? That's not right. Hang on a second. I am so confused. We literally just did the scouting thing. Why does it say that I've already hunted 2 days? Oh, I'm doing 4 days of black powder and 2 rifles on this season. That's right. Okay, so no, we're good, guys. We're just doing the straight rut this season. I forgot about that. We're doing all guns. All right, well, let's do it then. Straight into black powder. I mean, like I said, Jack, all you gotta do, man, is just watch me play the game, and it'll show you how to play it. It's very simple and easy. But it's also stressful because it is a simulator. Oh. Well, that's not good. We've already got a mature buck in here somewhere. I really don't want to move. I hope we didn't spook him. It will continue to grunt. But I need to get further down, man. That doe. Dude, I don't know what to do, man. This buck is here way too early. I don't know if we got anything, but they were spooked, guys. I had to let one fly there because they were spooked. Dude, this sucks, man. I didn't even get to make it to my stand. Crap, dude. I hope this ain't like the last stream where it's like all the deer are going to show up way too early. But those deer were spooked and running off the map, so I had to let one fly just try to get one of them. We're going to have to move on to the next day, guys, because that's they ain't going to come back now that I've shot. And even if I wouldn't have shot, they wouldn't have came back because I spooked them with the car. Dude, that stinks, man. Well, that day's going to be an empty day. I didn't see any 200 rack, though, so I'm pretty sure that those were smaller bucks. Now, hopefully this time we can make it to the tree stand. How do you take things out of the lodge? So you don't actually take them out of the lodge, Jack. What you do is you kill a deer, you take it and hang it up in your little shelter, and then once it's hanging in your shelter, there'll be a little option to taxidermize the animal. And when you taxidermize it, it'll take you straight to your trophy lodge, and from there you just find the animal you want to replace with the one that you just shot, and you replace them. So you don't actually take any out; you just replace the animals with your most previous one you shot. Okay, guys, so far so good in day 2. I'm not hearing any grunting. And I hate the way that day 1 went, man. They were right there at the house, and I had them spooked from the time that I first started driving, so there was no way that I was going to be able to make it to my tree stands. I had to just try to shoot through the woods at them. But it does look like we'll get to make it to our tree stand this time, though. Good grief. Well, day 1 was a bust. Hopefully day 2 will be better for us, guys. Now, like I said, I'm pretty sure that I did not see a 200 rack going through the woods, so I don't think that either one of those 2 bucks was our 200. I could be wrong, but I'm going to sit here with my fingers double and triple crossed, hoping that our 200 buck is still around. That's the one thing about the rut on this game that I don't like, actually, is that sometimes they can be right at your base camp when you first start in the mornings. And obviously that's not a good thing because you want to be able to make it to your tree stands. But I'm thinking that during the rut, I'm probably not going to have any choice but on this map in particular, but just to walk to the tree stand. Because the food plot on this map is just so far away. And during the rut, there could be monsters between the stand and you. So I think the best thing for me is literally just to walk to the stand in the mornings. That's one of the reasons why I like to build my maps with my stuff close to the starting point. So that way during the rut, I won't have very long to go to get my tree stand. I love this map. This map is an awesome map. But it is really hard sometimes to hunt the rut because, especially if you're wanting to hunt back here where the food plot is, because it's at the very tip top of the map. They're just randomly placed. Jack, and don't worry, man. Ask all the questions you want. I love teaching people, so it ain't gonna bother me a bit. But yeah, ask away. I don't care to teach you. But yeah, the antler sheds are actually so the way I look at it, Jack, is that it's kind of an evidence of your of how your season is going to be. So if you're seeing like a lot of big antlers, usually you'll see some pretty big bucks during your season. It doesn't mean you're going to be loaded with big bucks every day, but it means that you'll probably have a pretty good chance at seeing at least a few really big nice deer during the season. Whereas if you're at a certain season where you might see a lot of little antlers on the ground, from my experience, I've seen a lot of basket racks and like little forkies during those seasons. So in a way, I think the game is kind of telling you without telling you that how your season is going to go based on the kind of sheds that you find. But at the same time, that is just a theory, and I could be totally wrong. I think it's just something for fun. Now, another theory I have is that if you only pick up the big sheds, it'll make you have higher chances of getting bigger bucks. Now, that has not been proven, but in my seasons, from what I've seen, if you leave the little sheds on the ground and only pick up the big ones, and even if you don't fill up your trophy rack, like even if you don't fill up your the top of your shed with them, I've actually picked up 2 or 3 big sheds and couldn't find any other ones and hunted like that, and I had some pretty big bucks show up. So again, those are just theories that I've seen evidence of, but it could be wrong. Let's check the trail cameras here. Nothing on camera 1. There's a big buck. There's a big buck that is running around in circles right now out there. I mean, I'd hate to, but if he keeps running around in circles like that, we may have to go over there later in the day and try to shoot him if he's bugged. I mean, I'd hate to shoot a buck while it's stuck like that, but I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. That's a big deer. Got a little doe on this trail cam. And a little bitty buck following her. I just hope that buck gets unstuck. He was out there running around in circles for whatever reason. Hopefully he's not our only big one's going to show up today. Yeah, he's still out there running around in circles, guys. I don't know. This is a strange season. Do I leave my tree stand and go shoot this thing since he appears to be bugged, or do I stay put in hopes that something bigger might show up? Either way, because he's obviously bugged right now because he's just running around in circles. I don't know what to do with him. No, it doesn't. Crops that you plot are all based on your own preference. I like using soybeans because it lets you see the field extremely well without it being standing up. So, like, the cornfield that I used in this one, I like them to use corn in this situation because this a map really. I mean, you gotta admit this map looks really good with a cornfield. So I love using cornfield on PSR pines. But all the other maps I use them a soybeans on because it doesn't stand up real tall and you can see through the grass real easily. And plus corn just doesn't make a whole lot of sense on the other maps. But I mean, like I said, it's all your preference, man. Um, Now I do know that soybeans are an early season thing. Corn is kind of an all year thing, and then wheat is kind of the late year thing. And in Deer Hunter 4, whenever I used to plant on that game, it would actually make your early seasons be better with soybeans, but they would be dead during the winter, so you couldn't really use that field anymore. I don't know if it works that same way on this game or not, but that would be good. But it might be something to look into. But I think soybeans makes the rut and the early season better, whereas the wheat makes the rut and the late season better. And then corn is just kind of a generic for any time of the year type thing. That's my assumption about how it works, but I could be wrong. Dude, I really think that's my only big buck on the. Did I just hear a grunt or no? I feel like I heard a grunt while I was talking. I don't see anything. Maybe check my cameras again. Yep, that bug is still running in circles. Nothing there. Guys, I'm thinking that if I don't see any other big bucks show up towards the middle of the day, I'm gonna have to go down there to where that one is stuck and just try to shoot him while he's running. I really would hate to shoot a bugged out deer, but it looks like that's our big buck of the day, and he is not wanting to come in because he's stuck running around in circles. And so I don't know how this day's gonna go. Will they go to fields that have no deer trails? Yes. So deer will still be attracted to your fields whether they have deer trails going to them or not, man. So yeah, that is not a problem. I still hunt the fields even if I don't have trails. As long as you have trails around your food plot, they should still be going there. You may not see them go to it as often as whenever you have like a lot of trails around your food plots, but they will still be attracted to it. For me, during seasons where there's not too many trails going around your food plots, I'll either still hunt the food plot because, like I said, eventually all the deer will make their way to it, or just put up a tree stand around where you think the most activity is going to be. If you notice there's like two or three trails going around a certain area, and you can put a tree stand where you can watch all those trails, that is usually a pretty good place to hunt. So it really just comes down to your preference at the end of the day. Nice little doe down there. Guys, I am not hearing any other big bucks, and I think this is going to be a wacky season because the first day we ended up spooking the animals, and we had to shoot them real early, shoot at them early in the morning to try to get one of them, and we missed. And now this morning, our one and only big buck that has shown up is over here running in circles. So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to get out of the tree stand and walk over there to where he is and see if I can shoot him while he's bugged out. If we get halfway through the day without another big buck showing up, that is. I think I'm gonna let it get to the S or the second S before I go over there and try to shoot him. I'm hoping he just gets unstuck and just goes back to his normal thing, but it's looking like it's gonna be a weird day. What's up, B Wicker? Best deer hunting game out in my opinion. Hope devs will add more. Dude, I tell you what, this game is so advanced. I mean, it's not like as advanced as like the like Unreal Engine 5 games and everything, but as far as like a simulator, it is perfect, man. Like for a whitetail deer hunting game, it is so good. So yes, I agree with you. It is the best simulating hunting game out there. But I will say the best hunting game in general still is the Hunter Call of the Wild. That's just my opinion. But I will say that this one is gives it a run for its money, and this one is the best if you're wanting like a real life, like close to real life experience. That this one is the best way to go. So yes, I definitely agree with you. And they will definitely be adding more. This game is way too popular for them not to be. I do know that PC gets the updates first, and then PlayStation 5 gets the updates later. And I also know that they're working on getting the rights to go to Xbox, but Xbox has still yet to make a deal with them. But Yeah, I'm for sure this game is going to last for a very long time. It has a medium sized player base right now, but it's growing like every week. So it's definitely an amazing game. And I believe in piebalds is what's coming next. If you don't know that, they are adding a piebald buck that has various racks that it can come in. At least according to the video that Flinter dropped recently. So I don't know if it's just one rack that comes in different sizes or if the piebald can come in different racks. But from what I've seen, there is a piebald that is coming to the game next. Well, hallelujah! Our buck finally got unstuck. He's no longer running around back there, guys. So hopefully he'll return to what he was doing normally and come in eventually. Is my hope. You only have two trails on your entire map. Um, okay, so if you have two trails, that is not a bad thing. As long as you hunt, I would hunt about 3 days out of your season and hunt until about the halfway point every day. And if you have not shot a single big deer in the first 3 days, just delete that season and start again. Because this game does also simulate rough seasons. So you'll end up having a few times where you'll go into a deer season and barely see anything, or just see small ones, and that's the game's way of saying that you have some rough years. So yeah, I know. I'm actually still struggling on how to get the map to work perfectly though, Wicker. I have two different maps that I've designed, and one of them is very successful, and then the other one is like really good, but it's not as good as the other one. And I'm just having trouble figuring out how to get like the perfect balance between the map. No matter what changes I seem to do to my maps, after the really good one that I built, um, I just can't seem to get it to like function properly. I've never once seen a single deer laying down on either one of my maps, so I don't even know if I have bedding areas. Um, but both of my maps, and then one of my maps, I have the food plot like almost dead center in the middle of the map. And it's a really small food plot, sort of like the mountains, like PSR mountains. However, whenever you get on that food plot, all of my trails are always like out away from the plot, and I'm only seeing like a few deer throughout the day here and there come to the plot itself. Like for some reason they just don't seem to be attracted to the plot. It seems more or less like they're just following the trails and just kind of free roaming the map. So I'm trying to figure out exactly what I'm doing wrong that's making the animals not want to come into to the food plot. Like I said, I have one map that I made called DTG River, which has this big river running through it, and that map works perfectly. Like the animals come to the food plots and everything. But my other map that I made, for whatever reason, they just seem to be like just lollygagging around the map without having like any like they never come to the thing to feed. They just kind of walk through it. Like I might have a doe or so walk through it and feed for a while, but I just can't. You get what I'm saying? I can't get it to work perfectly for whatever reason. So I don't know. Okay, Wicker, I appreciate you, man. Yeah, I basically just learned on my own, and from some of the stuff that Flinter had in one of his videos, where he kind of shared some tips and trips on one of his videos. Tips and tricks, I mean. But I mean, like I said, it's all a learning process, man. But in my opinion, as long as you have a map that has deer that are coming into it and you got multiple deer trails every time, I consider that a successful map. I mean, even if you're not seeing like a ton of deer every single day, but you are seeing some monsters and a few really good bucks along the way, then that's really all that matters in my opinion. I was gonna make my place that I hunt in real life on this game, but the problem is that it's basically a giant grass field, and it has some woods in the front, and it also has a really big ravine in the middle. But the problem is that the only two maps that would work from our IRL place is the ridgetop one and the mountains one. But if I use the ridgetop one, um, there isn't enough place for woods in order to track the deer correctly. Because like I said, it's a big grass field. Whereas if I use the mountains one, I would have to go all the way around the map just to be able to hunt in my tree stand on the side of the farm that I hunt on in real life. So I've just kind of given up on the idea of building my IRL place in the game. But I made two maps that I really like hunting on, so I guess that'd be my IRL in the game hunt maps. Does that make sense? Those would be my home maps for the game, I guess. Also, guys, it has been a little while, so I'll go ahead and remind you guys. Make sure you guys hit the like button for me so more people can find the stream today. Also, make sure you guys subscribe if you want to see more of these streams. Like I said, we're having a trophy lodge tour starting next week, where you guys will get to compete for my favorite lodge as well as my favorite trophy, and I'll be coming to your trophy lodges and looking at them live on stream. So that way you guys can show the world what your trophy lodges look like too, if you'd rather do that. And and we're gonna have a good Christmas this year, I fear. So I'm looking very much forward to doing this. There's our big boy. Finally, he made his way around. I'm glad to see that he's back doing his normal thing, guys. That looks like, I think that's our drop time. Yep, that's a non-typical, guys. We got the non-typical on day 2. That is definitely a non-typical whitetail right there. I hope he's making his way to the food plot. That's a good buck. You made some Pennsylvania maps? Dude, that is awesome, man. I've only made 2 so far, and they're just off the top of my head type maps, and I really don't know what I'm going to make in the future if I ever make another map. But yeah, I really hope that they do that as well, man. You can do it on PC. Like on PC, you can share your maps, but not on console. So I'm hoping they bring it to console soon. At least we know that they got the non-typical on the map, guys. I'm very excited about this. Hopefully he'll come in. Unfortunately, he's no longer chasing the doe, so we'll have to get him to come in the old-fashioned way if possible. Now, I don't know about you, Wicker, but I'm also not the biggest fan on having maps that are extremely thick. I like my maps to be kind of like how pines and mountains are, where it's kind of like a good mixture of the two. But I really like having like the short grass and having like trees like this, where it's not real thick. You have plenty of shooting lanes through the trees. But it's also not real light. You know, I like having enough to make it feel like to feel like it's going to captivate you, but not so much where it's like right up in your face and you can't have a good time shooting. That's kind of how I set up my maps, where it's kind of medium brush, medium trees, and and obviously a food plot that's not too far away from the starting point. So that way, if you have the rut going on, you won't have very far to walk before you get into your stand. And that's kind of the way I like setting up my maps on this game. I think the non-tip walked out that direction a few minutes ago from the way I saw him. I don't know if he's going to make his way this way or not today, but we still got plenty of time for him to show up. Like I said, guys, we're not going to move, though. We're going to hunt out this entire day if we can. And if it gets really late in the evening and he hasn't shown up, we'll try to walk across. We'll try to slow walk across the map and try to find him if we can. He was chasing a doe early in the morning, but where he got bugged out, I guess it timed out as far as chasing the doe goes. And now he's just kind of free roaming the map. I don't know where he is though. I think our biggest non-tip is a 170, if I ain't mistaken. I think that I have like a 169 to a 170 non-tip. There he is. There he is again. I'm over here, buddy. Come this way. No, not that way. uh, I don't want to overcall him, but I need him to come this direction if we can. Dude, that is a beautiful animal, man. Congratulations on that buck. My biggest buck in real life scored about I think they said he scored anywhere from 150 to 160. And he's a 8-point buck that has 12 to 13 inch tines on him and has brow tines that are 11.5 inches and one of them is 12, I think. And he was about a 2-year-old buck, so very young but very big for his age. And the guy told me that if he thinks it would have scored anywhere between a 150 to a 160, even though he's not a professional at it. So that's my biggest buck to date. Is a big 8-point that's full velvet, and I got him with a really pitiful shot though. I was shaking like a leaf during archery season, and I shot him way far back, and I got his liver, and that was the only reason I killed him. So got lucky there. I'm keeping an eye on this buck. He's working that area back there right now, but I don't want to approach him. I'm kind of hoping he just makes it. He just lollygags his way this direction eventually. Yeah, he's right there right now. You can overcall in this game, guys. If you didn't know that, there is such thing as overcalling in this game. If you call at a buck and then it raises its head and then takes off in a trot, that means you called too much, or it means it's not interested in the caller. So, just to let you guys know that. If you do overcall an animal, it doesn't mean he won't come in though. It just means that he's spooked for a short amount of time and he'll go back to his normal activities before long. Come this way. Honestly, I'm trying to think. I don't know if it'd be a wise decision or not, but I'm kind of thinking about trying to make a move to my other tree stand back there. But I don't know if he'll work his way to this field or not today, is the problem. If he's going, oh, oh, nope, he's going back over there. He's working that area back there, is what he's doing. I might have to hunt my other stand this season. I might try the other stand the next morning. I'm already back here though, and I don't want to spook this buck if I can help it, so I'm just going to have to stay put. But I'm running out of time. I've caught a lot of big fish though. Wicker. I've been fishing since I was real little, so I've caught a lot of big fish. I've caught an 8-pound largemouth whenever I was real little, but unfortunately we couldn't find a taxidermist, and it froze. And in the freezer it shrunk from an 8-pound fish to a 4-pound fish. So I kind of lost that one to taxidermize. I've shot a fox squirrel that went about 2 foot. It was about had a tail on it that went about a foot long, and the body itself was about a foot. So it was about a 2-foot squirrel, which was a monster. Red fox squirrel. My biggest turkey was about, I think it was about 21 pounds, and it had a 12-inch a spur on one side and 11.5 inch on the other, and it was about a 12-inch beard. Is my biggest gobbler I've killed in my life so far. Though I've killed several of them. Let me see. I've got a walleye that's 27 inches long and 8 pounds. I've caught stripers that are 16 pounds and and almost 40 inches long, or 36 inches long rather. So I've caught some pretty big fish in my life though. You need a doe bleat collar? Yeah, I would also like to see rattling antlers too, man. That'd be a really cool thing to come to this game, is if you could rattle for bucks. That'd be cool. And I'm talking about like Deer Hunter 4 times, where like you could actually see the antlers themselves on the screen and actually watch your character rattle them, instead of having like these bag rattlers or the little ones the little star shaped ones that you rub in your hands. I don't remember. I don't know what those are called, but I'm talking about like the actual legitimate rattling antlers. And I also think that they need to update their grunt call in this game to actually look like a grunt collar, because the collar that's on the game right now looks more like an elk bugle than it does a deer call. I mean, the collar that they have in this game right now looks more like you're trying to call in an elk than you are a whitetail. So I don't know. We'll have to see. Is that a different buck? That is. It's a little forky. So that's a different buck than the one that we've been seeing. I don't know where this non-tip is. It's good to know that we have a non-tip on the map, but the problem is I don't know where he's at. This is one of those hunts where you're just sitting here with your fingers crossed. Oh, there he is, I think. Yeah, there's the non-tip. Yeah, he's just working that area, man. How much time is left? We still got time for him to come back here. But I'm very tempted just to get out of the stand and try to get over there to him. But the problem is I don't know. Which way is the wind blowing today? So it's blowing that way. So the wind is in our favor. Hmm. I don't know if I should risk it. I really don't know if I should risk getting out of the stand, because they'll bust you real easy on this game. But I'd like to get at least one big buck on today's stream if possible. Man, he's right under my other tree stand, man. I should have moved. I really should have moved. He's directly under my other stand. We're almost out of time. I'm going to risk it for a biscuit. I've lost track of him. I don't know where he went. There he is. Okay, so he's walking off that direction. I'm going to hope that he ain't spooked. And I'm going to try to get in my other stand real quick. Hopefully, I will not spook anything going to my stand. The wind is in our favor. But he's working this area real hard. So I'm going to try to... Yep, okay. Alright, we made it to our other stand. Yeah, I hear you, Wicker. Yeah, I haven't fished much this year. I just didn't really get a chance to do it. I think we got in here safe and sound, guys. We'll let out one call. Hopefully we didn't spook anything. We're gonna sit right here. This big non-typical has been working this area really hard. So hopefully we got in here clean and hopefully we'll be able to get him. Now he's got to sit here and wait and hope. Nope, that's the Forky. Okay, now I'm nervous because I think that was the buck that we saw walking that direction. So I'm really hoping that the non-tip is still around. And that we didn't bump him. I didn't see him anywhere as we approached, so I'm hoping that he just decided to go a different direction. But we're starting to run out of time, so all we can do is just sit here with our fingers crossed. I mean, if we bumped him, we bumped him, but he was not going to come to our other tree stand, it didn't look like. So, even if we don't get this buck, I still feel like we did the right thing. I mean, the car is right here, though, so if we do get the buck, we won't have to go far at all. But I think the next time that we deer hunt, I think I'm going to sit right here. Oh, man, that doe got me excited. I thought that was him. Okay, I just heard something running. Oh, okay, so it was that little buck. Dude, that non-tip was right here. He's been working this area so hard today. But we may have bumped him trying to get to this stand. I just don't know what to do right now. Do I shoot the little guy to make sure I get a buck, or do I just sit here and wait and hope that the non-typical is going to come back through? Because again, I don't know if we bumped him or not. I couldn't see him as we approached. I was just waiting for him to walk a different direction. Come on. Please tell me the non-typical is still around. Dude, I don't know what it is about deer hunting camp whenever I'm trying to stream it. Whenever I'm playing this, like free playing it off stream, I'm always killing bucks and things are going my way. And then as soon as I decide to stream an episode of me hunting on here, it seems like everything just wants to go topsy-turvy on me. I mean, the very first day of deer season, we had two bucks that were running at my starting location, and we ended up spooking them and had to shoot at them early in the like before daylight just to try to get one because they were spooked and they were running off the property. And now day two, we've had a non-typical show up, but he wanted to just stick around this one area on the map and would not move. So we decided to move to try to get to him, and now I don't know if he bumped him or not. All I'm seeing is this little bitty buck. It'll be my luck if the non-typical goes under my other stand now. I move over here today. That'd be my luck. How much time do we have left? We're running out of time. I'm starting to think that we bumped that deer. Sometimes you gotta take risks on this game. Sometimes it works and sometimes it don't. That's all part of the excitement. I really don't think we're going to get anything today, guys. I believe we bumped that non-typical out of here, unfortunately. There's a doe right there. Man, I am just not comfortable shooting, passing up anything at the moment, though. That non-typical's been right in here all day. But again, I may have bumped him coming in. Alright, we're nearly out of time. I think the best thing for me to do now is just to go ahead and bite the bullet, say that I scared that deer and I'm going to go ahead and get this doe. Because I am not seeing any evidence of the non-typical, and we're almost out of time. I may not hit this doe because she's a little bit out of range, but I'll try. Did I get her or didn't I get her? I don't see her falling. I don't think I got her. Oh, well. Dude, this has just been a rough season. Just nothing is going my way at all. All we can do now is just go to the next day and just keep hoping. What's up, Colton? Alright, Wicker. Sounds good, man. Hope you have a good evening, man. Thanks for joining the stream. I appreciate you. We've still got 2 more days of muzzleloader season, guys, so hopefully we'll be able to get that 200. I think this time around I am just going to walk in, though. Just in case we start hearing grunting. My tree stand is so far away on this map, I feel like we're spooking everything. And I think we'll hunt my first tree stand instead of my second. Whoa. Well, I heard grunting, but I think that was a doe or a smaller buck. Alright, let's just get in this tree stand. Hopefully today will go a little bit better. I heard a buck grunting. There's a couple little forkies. I heard a grunt, but I don't know if it was that deer that I jumped a minute ago or if that was a different deer. I'm hoping that it was a different one. Your pheasant grind on Quattro is going good. 100 kills with 2 dimes and 2 rares. That's really good, man. Hopefully you get him soon, buddy. I didn't even know you were doing a pheasant grind on Quattro. That's pretty cool. I'm actually thinking about starting up another grind on the new map whenever it launches, although I'm not sure what the new great one is going to be, so we have to wait to see what that is first, but that's what I was thinking about doing. that a buck out there or a doe? I can't tell. It's a doe. Okay. Got another little doe out there. And I did hear grunting. I heard a grunt early in the morning this morning, but I couldn't tell if it was the deer that I jumped. It was just too dark. But I jumped a deer trying to come in this morning, and I was hearing grunting at the time. But it felt like the grunt was somewhere else though. So I'm really hoping that we didn't bump the big boy. What's up, Zero? Welcome to the stream, man. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Oh, there he is. That's a 200. That's a 200 rack. Okay, good. Today's the day. I don't hear him grunting, but that's a 200 rack. All we need is to get this deer, guys, and we've got PSR Pines complete. All we would need is a 200 off mountains, and we got a 200 off every map. I just hope that he turns around and comes this way. Dude, I don't know. We need him. I need some I need redemption. We just need this 200. If he scores 200 or not, it completes the challenge, guys. We just need a 200 rack off every base game map, and we've done it except for mountains, ponds, and woods. Again, I'm probably going to skip out on woods just because I'm not too big of a fan of that map anymore. As the last few times I've hunted it, I've just had no luck. So I'm probably going to skip out on woods, but I'm still going to try to get a 200 off pines and mountains because I love these maps. Especially mountains. I don't know why mountains has been so cruel to us lately, but it's some today it was just nothing but small deer, and I had to delete that season and come here. And I'm hoping that it was the right choice. I do not know where that 200 went, but hopefully he'll make his way back around through here eventually. All we gotta do is just sit here and be patient. What I'm really hoping happens is that he walks directly under us. That would be the best way to shoot this deer, so that way we can make sure we make a good shot where we're using open sights. I just don't know where he went. He was headed out that direction last time we saw him. I don't think he's going to be on any of our cameras. Come on, big boy, show yourself. It's another doe out there. Dude, this buck has got me on my toes. There is no other game. Not even Call of the Wild makes it feel this way, guys. Like, if you want, like, a genuine, like, nail-biting experience, I mean, play Deer Hunting Camp, if you can. Because it is an amazing, amazing experience. It feels just like real life, and whenever you get a big buck, you don't know. I mean, like, literally, you can see a buck and then never see it again. So every time you see a big buck on this game, all you're doing is just hoping that it comes in. And it's just like you do in real life. You just hope everything works out. Right now, I'm just kind of wondering, should I sit here or should I move to stand number 2 because it's right up that way, and that's the direction he was kind of headed. I'm just too afraid of bumping him though. We missed out on a non-typical today. We did have the non-typical show up, but we were nearly out of time, and I decided to move to this stand. I was over there, and the non-typical was working this area to death, and I decided to make a move once the non-typical left, and I got into this stand and never saw him again. So I either bumped him while coming into this stand, or he had left the property after that. So it's been a really rough day today, and this 200 would definitely make up for it if he'd come in. The problem is I just don't know where he is. I mean, I would love to get eyes on him again though, just so we have confirmation that he's still here and he hasn't left. I hear something. There he is. Nope, never mind. That's the smaller buck. Yeah, that's the red 8-point. So never mind. That's not the one we're after. Whew, he got me excited though. I saw the width of his antlers, and I thought that was him. But that is definitely a different buck. I am glad I didn't try to shoot that deer. He'd be a good one to end the day on, but now we know that we have a 200 potential rack in the field somewhere. So I'm gonna pass on him. I'm just surprised there ain't no grunting. Like I'm not hearing them grunt. And guys, don't forget that next week is the Trophy Lodge tour. So if you guys are wanting to participate in that, there will be a post I'll put out on the day of the update. So on the 9th, I will put a post out for you guys, letting you all know that whenever you get your Trophy Lodges updated to the way that you want them to be, whether you bought the new pack for the Lodge pack or not, once your Trophy Lodge is the way you like it and you're ready to show it to me, let me know on that post. And then in one of our next streams, as long as you can make it to that stream, I will try to see your lodge. Now, we're going to have 4 different streams where I'll be visiting people's lodges. So that way it gives you guys hopefully enough time to be there. So we're going to have the 2 streams that we're going to have 2 streams at towards the end of the week next week if possible. Um, and I'll visit the lodges during those streams as well. And then the week after that we'll do it again. And then over that next weekend I will choose the winner. So we'll have 4 different streams where I'll be open to visiting people's lodges. You just killed a huge 10? Are you talking about on this game, man? Or are you talking about in real life? You talking about deer hunting camp or IRL, Jack? The game? I was about to say, dude, if you're hunting real life while watching me and then all of a sudden you got a real deer, that'd be insane. I would literally tell you, take a picture of the animal and then put it on the community tab right now. Oh, gosh. Guys, I don't know what is up with my luck. But congratulations on that, Jack. That's awesome, man. Congrats on your buck, man. That's awesome. Yeah, the big deer on this game is what gets you hooked. Whenever you get a big buck kill in this game, it's hard to quit hunting after that. But guys, I really don't know what's going on because whenever I'm hunting on this game, when I'm not streaming it and I'm just kind of hunting nonchalantly, everything goes in my favor. Like I kill bucks all the time, and I really do have a good time on here. But then as soon as I decide to stream the game, it's like all my seasons are either dud seasons or the animals just don't want to act the way that they act whenever I'm playing alone. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. I don't know what happened to our buck either. We saw the 200 and now we haven't seen him since. Something on the camera though. It's a little forky out there. And there's nothing on this one. Dude, I hope that our 200 didn't leave. That would be my luck. To see a 200 and then it leave the property after I see him. I mean, if that red colored 8-pointer comes back in again, I'll shoot him. I mean, I'll definitely take him. But it's going to be hard to let him go knowing that there's a 200 potential somewhere on the map, possibly. What's up, Wolf? Welcome back, man. He was 170. Let's go, man. Yeah, I love the 170s racks, man. They're real pretty on this game. Congrats on that. All right, Jack. Sounds good, man. I'll see you when you get back, buddy. We'll be live for another 10 minutes, and then I'll have to get off, guys. So hopefully we'll get that 200 before the day ends. Oh, I hear something. Nope. It's that 8-pointer again. I'm really starting to wonder if the 8-pointer is the one that we saw from behind, and he just happened to look like a 200. I don't know what to do. I'll tell you guys what, let's get this buck just to make sure that we get a big buck on the stream today. And we'll try to see if we can get lucky. That may be a little bit high. We'll try to see if we can get lucky and get another buck. I think I just hit him on the run. But we'll try to go to our last day of rifle season, or muzzleloader season rather, and see if we can't make it happen. But I don't know if we'll be able to get him this season. What's up, Brendan? Welcome back, man. I am pretty sure that 200 is gone, guys. He hasn't shown back up. And I wanted to at least get a big buck today. All we've gotten is little basket racks for the stream today, so I really wanted to make sure we at least got one decent one. So we're going to try to go out here and get my car. And then hopefully we'll be able to have enough time to to get a buck right off the start in the beginning of the day. Dude, today's stream has just been rough, man. Every single time it seems like that I want to stream deer hunting camp, it just nothing goes my way. We either always just see little ones, or the deer just will not cooperate correctly. I don't know where this buck fell at. Where is he? I feel like he died right in here, didn't he? Did I go too far? I think I may have went too far. Why did he have to die in this tall grass? There he is. I got him. There we go. At least we got a big buck on today's stream. Like I said, we will jump into the final muzzleloader hunt of the day. However, if we run out of time, we'll just have to run out of time. Because I do got to get off in 10 minutes. But hopefully we'll be able to get a 200 killed right off the bat. That'd be really cool. It's rough, man. Rough stream today on deer hunting camp. What's up, Brandon? Welcome back, man. If I haven't said that already, I think I may have already said that. But welcome back. Alright, guys. Last chance. And we've got to get a 200 in 10 minutes. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but we'll try. We still haven't shot the 200. And we did see it at the beginning of the season, so we know that there's a 200 on the map. Or at least there might be. All we can do is just follow the road and listen. Nope, I hear a grunt. I gotta get to the tree stand. Oh no. Don't spook it. Please don't tell me I spooked that buck. I heard a couple of grunts, but I don't think I bumped it. I don't know what it was either. Dude, this is just not going my way at all. These deer are always between me and my tree stand, or something's happening every single morning right now. It's a doe. Dude, I hope I didn't spook that buck. I didn't get to see him, but I heard him grunting. Hopefully he was chasing a doe and he'll come back through eventually. Another doe. Phew. Intense season, man. Intense season. Alright, guys. We got about 8 minutes to make this to kill something. Hopefully he'll just run straight in here in a minute. Hopefully we didn't bump that buck, and hopefully he'll just come running right through into rifle range. Oh, I hear him. Please be the 200. Okay, he's right there. Are you the 200 or are you something else? I think he's something else, sadly. I think that's another 8-point. I mean, there could be another buck on the property, but I don't hear any other grunts. Dude, this is a rough day today, man. Had a dud season on PSR Mountains. Came here, spooked 2 bucks that were chasing does way too early in the morning, and had to shoot at them in the morning and missed. The next day, we had a non-typical that was working the wrong tree stand, so I had to try to move, and whenever I moved, he didn't want to show up again. And then we had a 200 that decided to show up yesterday on here, and then just left, and I had to shoot an 8-pointer instead. And now today we have 1 buck that's chasing does, and he looks like another 8-point. My gosh, this has been a rough season today, guys. It's been a very, very rough time. Hopefully you guys have still enjoyed the stream, though. Hopefully it hasn't made it lackluster in any way, and hopefully you guys are still enjoying yourselves. I've had a lot of fun dealing with all this, but yeah, it's not a 200. That's a nice buck, but he's not a 200. We'll still shoot him if he comes through, but that's a little bit rough, man. We saw a 200 today on this map, and we just couldn't get him, unfortunately. I am hoping that they bring the 30-06 to the rut. Because here in Kentucky, you're allowed to use any firearm during the rut. And I just feel that it would be fair if the game developers made it to where you could use any of the weapons during the fall season. Because I would use the 30-06 every single time if I could. Just so you can have that scope. But he's chasing a doe, so all we can do is just sit here and wait for the doe to come through. If the doe that he's chasing comes through right underneath us, you know the buck will too. So it's all we got to do is just wait. We got about 4 minutes left, though, guys. We either got to kill this deer in the next 4 minutes, or we'll have to end the stream early. But at least we know that it's probably not going to be a 200 today. There goes the rut and doe. Right under my other tree stand, of course. Yep, and there goes the buck right behind her. That is so cool how he chases the doe, though, man. I mean, I absolutely love that. How they chase after the does in this game. It's a pretty good buck. I can't tell which one he is, though. Can't really get them to come in, unfortunately. I'll still grunt at them for here and there, but I don't think that you can actually entice them to come to you or nothing. Looks like we got a little Forky coming in behind us. Nothing that we're after. Come on, doe. Bring him under the stand for us. We've only got a couple of minutes left. Come on. Just run under the stand. Oh, man. I don't know where that rutting doe is going to come through at. Or the doe in heat, I mean. Oh, they're coming out way out there this time. So they turned around and went out the other way. I don't see the buck, though. Oh, there he is. Still behind her a little bit this time around. Oh, rutting bucks. It just has not been a very good stream today, guys. I just want to go ahead and apologize to you all. Obviously, I intended on killing some really big bucks today, but the season just did not want to cooperate for us. PSR Mountains was a total dud. We only had one trail, and all we saw was basket racks on little bucks. And then we came to PSR Ponds, and during the rut today, everything has been between me and my tree stands, and I've been spooking everything during the night time just trying to get to our tree stands. So it's just been a really, really rough time today on the streams. Hopefully you guys have still had a good time here today, though. It just shows how realistic this game is, though. Some seasons are going to go your way perfectly, and other seasons are just going to screw you over, man. It's just the way that it happens. All right, Z, I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate your feedback, buddy. Or buddy, rather. I got kind of tongue-tied there. I would like to end the stream. I mean, like, it's 5 o'clock, but I really want this buck to come through. Like, I really want to kill this buck at least before the stream ends. But I don't know if this doe's going to bring him in or not. I'm going to wait to see. I'm going to let the doe pass one more time, guys. If she goes somewhere else, I'll have to end the stream. But she'll come back through here in just a minute, and if she's underneath us, I will wait for the buck. But if she's somewhere else, I'll have to go ahead and call it, because I am out of time a little bit at the moment. I just saw something jump the fence out there. Hopefully that wasn't our deer. It wouldn't surprise me if it was, though, with the way our luck's been today. I'm going to give it about 2 more minutes, guys, about 5 after, so It's 5 o'clock right now. I'm going to give it till about 5:05. There's the doe. That is going to be quite a poke. Unless she turns or the buck is kind of off to the side of her. Probably just for the fun of the stream, guys, I probably will try to shoot this buck since that's going to be pretty close. I doubt I'll hit him, but we'll try it. Hopefully he's actually over to the side and actually come right underneath us is what I'm hoping. Because sometimes they can be 2 or 3 foot to the side of the doe, rather than being right directly behind her. But as of right now, I don't even see the buck. Dude, did the buck leave the property? Was that the deer that I saw jump the fence a minute ago? I don't even see the buck. Are you serious? The buck stopped chasing the doe and jumped out of the property, guys. He is no longer here. Oh, that is gutting. So the only big buck that was on our property is now no longer on the property, guys. Oh, that is just rough, man. That is rough. Today's stream has just kicked me right between the legs, man. Oh, wait, never mind. Hold up. There he comes, actually. Never mind. Never mind at all. The game just wanted to scare me, apparently. Alright, buddy. That should be good. I don't see that wouldn't hit him. There he goes. We got a big buck to end the stream with, guys. Let's go. I won't be able to show it. I have to get off. I have to get off because my wife is going to get off now from work. But that is a good way to end the stream right there, guys. I'm going to go see what he is, and then I'll have to end the stream. I'll have to get him off stream. Or take him back to the lodge off stream or whatever. I don't know what he is even. What are you? Okay, so yeah, he's the big 10-pointer, a big wide 9-1. That is a beautiful, beautiful deer to end the stream with, guys. Alright, I'm going to start heading back to the lodge, but unfortunately I'll have to end the stream here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the stream today. We were able to finally get at least 2 big bucks off the stream today. We got a few little basket racks. Thursday and Friday we'll be grinding for the Great One Whitetail, as I'm going to try to get him before the new map launches on the 9th. So hopefully you guys are excited for that. Make sure you guys like and subscribe if you want to see more of these deer hunting camp streams in the future. And I'll see you guys Thursday. I love y'all. Like and subscribe again. I'll see you next time, guys.